first question is just about you as an individual, as a person. Tell us about yourself and what it means to grow up in Somalia.
Okay, first of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity, and it is honor for me to receive you in my office. You are now in Somali boundary.
Wow.
That's in yes, because that's the international law. Whenever you are in the embassy,
Yes.
you interact with another country's boundary.
Yes.
Feel free at home.
Thank you.
If I start try to answer the question, I born in Somalia. I have grown up in Somalia, and I have been there since I became over 6 years. So, by professional, I started as a journalist.
Oh, journalist.
In
Journalism, yes.
The second degree is business administration. I was recruited as civil servant in 1983. Then after the collapse of the country, after the civil war, I didn't went out of the country. I just remained in the country. I was involved in civil society activities. So I was just empowering at that time civil society in terms of capacity building and training. I became a professional trainer. Then after that, I became a management consultant. So from 1994 to 2012, I have been in that field, in civil society and just NGOs and in consultant sector.
Yeah.
But I joined this political field from 2012. At that time, we were a group of civil society, and there was a mass in the country. There was fighting going on, inter-clan fighting, all this going on. So a group of civil society decided, led by this, our new president, Hassan Sheikh. He was, a rector of one of the local universities, and I have been a member of the lecturers at that time. We decided that to enter this, this field, political field, to save the country. Because you know that if the good people never appear in front of in the front line, the country will not go ahead. So our ambition, our dream was that to save the country. We tried our best. At that time, we were not part of the armed factions. We were just civil society. So people were just were very cautious, very suspect that we'll gain we'll succeed in that activity, political activity, since we come from education background. Just we were involved in the education sector. So we tried our best. By chance, we became the first president of from unarmed community. He became a president in 2012, October 2012. That time, I was appointed as the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs. I have been Deputy Minister for 1 year. Then after that, I have been appointed as the Ambassador of Somalia to South Africa. I have been in South Africa for 4 years. Then I have been transferred to Nigeria. I became the first ambassador of Somalia to be appointed as ambassador to Nigeria since 1988. Because our embassy, our mission was closed in 1988, and then civil war broke out in the country. So we just, it was a turnaround, diplomatic turnaround. Just the government sees Nigeria as a strategic partner and a regional power. So presence in Nigeria is very important for the Somali government. So that's why a diplomat like me to be appointed to Nigeria. That's where I come. That's my journey.
That's right. Thank you very much. That was very explicit. Interesting.
Interesting indeed. So it's fascinating from growing up in Somalia, entering into politics from an education background. I can't even begin to imagine. You have made such impact in the country. It's a fascinating one. And being the first ambassador in Nigeria after so many years, what are your experiences? What are the things you love about Nigeria?
In fact, when I was appointed as ambassador to Nigeria, I haven't received many congratulations from my colleagues because they were thinking Nigeria is a hot place. You know that. As I mean, the image when you are outside of Nigeria, the image is not, attractive. But when I came in Nigeria, the situation is very different. People are very friendly. People are just humble. It's very different because I came from a developed country, African developed country, South Africa, which is life is very sophisticated, and to Nigeria, which life is very simple. So what I like in Nigeria is the socialization among the people, greeting each other, helping each other, laughing always, smiling, all these things. And the other thing I admired is that the Nigerians are broad. I visited many African countries. I haven't seen people like Nigerians. They are proud of their culture. They are proud of their being in Nigeria. That's what I just identified, recognizing in Nigeria. And what I had before and what I have now is very, very different. I started advocating for Nigeria. For Nigeria, even telling our business people to come in Nigeria and pushing the Nigerian business people to go in Somalia and do investment. So that is the change happening in me. So Nigeria is a powerful country. It's a powerful country. It can have its challenges, its weaknesses, but it's not, the weakness is not, heavier than the strength. The strength is more higher than the weaknesses. That's what I just now, I understood, I found out in Nigeria. So I like Nigeria.
Thank you. Well, our former president, Yar'Adua, talked about citizens diplomacy, and you are doing that for us now. We are supposed to be doing that, but I've seen someone who understands Nigeria, loves Nigeria. It motivates me a lot. Maybe I'll go back and begin to review the tenets of what it means to be a citizen of Nigeria. Thank you, Ambassador. Moving on to the next questions. You said, I think about 1988, you were the first ambassador, Somalian ambassador to Nigeria.
No, since 1980s, yes.
Since 1980s. That should be about 3 decades from now.
Yeah, it is.
So, based on that premise, as the first ambassador to Nigeria, what do you think is the commonality or the common experience in terms of development? Now they're talking about sustainable development. In terms of development, between Nigeria and Somalia, how have the two countries fared in terms of bilateral relations?
Okay, it is really, I can say there are opportunities in Nigeria as well as in Somalia, for the Somalis and for the Nigerians in terms of development. Sorry, my arrival here coincided with the COVID-19. So I have been stuck here for 1 year, not doing movement because of the COVID-19. But when I start, even when I start movement, just making understand my country, my government, how Nigeria can benefit, or how we can benefit from Nigeria, and Nigeria can benefit from Somalia. Now there is a move. There is just understanding the side of Somalia. Just there now, I can say Somalia is now ready, mature, to take this advantage from Nigeria. The similarity in terms of the situation is this. Somalia and Nigeria were the first countries who founded this African Union, or call it a Unity of African Organization. And they were the countries who strongly supported the freedom movements at that time, in the 60s. Nigeria and Somalia contributed the freedom of many other countries in Southern Africa, like Zambia, Zimbabwe, like South Africa, like Namibia, like all of them. The same Somali did. What I remember is that the fighters, the freedom fighters in Southern Africa used to be trained in Somalia or in Nigeria. They were contributed equipment in terms of expertise. So in that way, and they were in the same stance in the Pan-Africanism. Nigeria and Somalia were the same stance in the Pan-Africanism phenomenon, philosophy. So we can say that Nigeria and Somalia, there are many similarities in terms of the situation. Come to the situation we are in now, the same situation Nigeria in. We have in our country these Al-Shabaab people. In Nigeria, there is Boko Haram. We had, coups, military coups took place in our country, the same here. We have we just went through the same situations in Nigeria and in Somalia. Anyway, now, in terms of development, and Somalia complement each other. I know that there is now a treaty or agreement side that free trade zone Africa. I believe Nigeria signed it, the same Somalia did. So that's another opportunity that they can complement each other in the development sector. So that's what I believe. They can do many things together in terms of security, in terms of economy. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I can see lots of mutual benefits and multiple takeaways in our 30 years of bilateral relations with Somalia. I think that is a very good point.
Lots of similarities.
Yes.
And those similarities are striking when you consider the president, the current president, His Excellency Hassan Sheikh, and him coming back the second time is largely similar to what we have for President Olusegun Obasanjo. So, we're like sister countries in experiences and history.
Coming back as a unique, it's the first time a president to come back in Somali history.
In Somalia, yes.
In the election.
Yes.
So that's a unique situation, it's a unique opportunity. Is that, yeah.
Okay, so considering these similarities, what advice or what's your opinion about how things can be done differently or better, in leadership for these two countries to move forward?
There is an initiative I started now, just to benefit each other. Okay. This commonality on this thing is what I just started to bring we have now. We come from military system to federal system. Recent.
Yes.
We opted this federal system from say 2005. Now our system is federal, but it's not systematically set up. It is just growing now. So we have now 5 states, while Nigeria has 36 states. What I start now is to bring in our states, leadership of our states in Nigeria. I started with one of the states. I brought to Kaduna. So there is now a tuning program between that state and Kaduna state. Fortunately, the leadership of Kaduna is outstanding. Especially, I met several times with Rufai, and I read his book called The Accidental Civil Servant. I read it.
Okay.
It is really very, very influential book. I read that. So, what happened is that twinning program is now working. These two states are work together. They send people to be trained here and do just programs together. Have just steady tours. All this alone. The next, I visited Kanu also.
Okay.
I met the governor and his council. Just we discussed it to start another state. So in this way, even Hassan Sheikh came to Nigeria, attended the second, I think, the 2015 presidential inauguration of Buhari. He attended. He came. He is still willing to come again, and just have mutual, cooperation between Somalia and, because he understands the importance of Nigeria. Nigeria is the only country in Africa who just provide peacekeeping without be paid by UN. It's Nigeria, only the country that pays, cover everything by itself when they send peacekeepers to the African countries. So they were part of the peacekeepers in 1993 deployed in Somalia. There was a great number of great contingent of Nigerians just working in Somalia, and they were the best. Because I was there, they were the best. They just feeling Africanism, that. It is, and between the federal level, we will start it. Now now there is a police contingent from Nigeria deployed in Somalia. They train the police force of Somalia. It's a small number, but it's effective.
Wonderful. Getting interesting. I want to digress a little bit. At this time, I want to look at your choices as an individual. You talked about your experience in Nigeria, and we're also looking at other things that you as an individual is interested in about Nigeria. For example, food and our culture. Of course, you talk a little bit of our cultural integration, then music and lifestyle. And you don't have to skip this question because this question was somewhere thrown to the US ambassador, and I was shocked she mentioned some Nigerian artists and the food she loves. So I think that should be a question for all diplomats traveling in Nigeria. So I want to find out, what's your favorite food? Nigerian food, not Somali food, but Nigerian food. You eat Nigerian food? What's your favorite? And two, you have listened to Nigerian music. Our entertainment industry is growing rapidly, and of course, we're making Africa proud in that respect. So do you have any music genre you love? Is it high life? Is it hip hop? Any kind of music that may be similar to that of Somalia? Then we'll also talk about other lifestyle and values of Nigeria that you love and you like to talk.
Okay, in fact, the food I usually eat is jollof rice and fufu.
We got soup.
What kind of soup?
Also, it is hot, that.
Okay.
I don't like hot foods, but now I adapted now. Because before I believe it that it is harmful for ulcer. I have ulcer, but it is good for ulcer.
Wow.
Just I found out that hot food is good for ulcer, not bad. Because one time I visited India. India, you can't get food without pepper, and very hot. If you ask, say that I don't want pepper, they say I want mild pepper. You will never get food without pepper. So that time also I adapted. I started to eat Indian food, Indian local dish, and then I feel healthy. I felt healthy that time because of the ulcer. Come to the music. Sorry, I don't listen to music. My hobby is reading. I read. Just I have to read minimum one book a month. Medium my size.
Okay.
That's my hobby.
Okay.
So the other thing, traveling also, visiting different places is also I like it.
Okay.
But in terms of my music, even in terms watching TV, I just watch the news. The other thing I get from my mobile or these things. So that's. But I like Nigerian tradition, especially how they dress, especially how they save it the traditional system. I like it. I visit Ningi, you know Ningi, in Ochiye. I met with the traditional leader. I have been there for 3 days. I can't imagine how the people respected or respect their leadership. I mean, traditional leadership. That is what I believe that Nigeria became saved because of the traditional leadership. Because it is very systematic and it plays a significant role in the existence of Nigeria. And historical background. Everything is written, everything is available, you see. So that's what I like in terms of the tradition, the system. The tradition system of Nigeria is very strong and very, very, influential. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. In terms of, like you said, music, I can see you're a little bit silent on the area of music. We were interested so much about the role music played in the independence of other African states, especially South Africa. You remember the likes of Mariam Makeba, Hugh Masekela, and Nigerian artists like Fela Anikulapo Kuti and Sonny Okosu. These were prominent in those days. They were prominent voices calling for the end of apartheid and the freedom of all African states. So I think you should take special cognizance of Nigerian.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Just before my colleague comes in again, I want to read a statement of ethical principle from President His Excellency Hassan Sheikh, and very touching. He said, "Somalia at peace with itself and with the world." Just a short statement of ethical principle. And Somalia at peace with itself and the world. It means a lot to us. These were the victory remarks of President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud. What does this mean in terms of Somalia's national development and foreign policy objectives?
Okay,
that's
a valuable question. In fact, we have been in civil war for 30 years, for 3 decades, and it was inter-clan fightings. So there is no peace, no real reconciliation between the clans. So to reconcile the clans, that brings peace among Somalis and brings development thinking in Somalia. Why? Example, there are now clan borders in the country. No clan can cross the other border and do its own interest in the other border. So what we want that inter-clan, what we call interaction should take place because of the interest of developing the social economy. Because we are now agriculture community and livestock community. And in Nigeria, you feel that the feeling between the two communities, always fighting each other, killing each other, all these things. So what Hassan Sheikh intends is that to remove that gap. People come together, live together, all these things. Before the civil war, they were together. It's an example, when it is farming time, the farmers are busy with farming. When it's finished, the livestock people were allowed to come in the farms, graze the animal in the farms. The remain of the harvest. So that was a mutual cooperation between the communities. That's what Hassan Sheikh wants to bring back again, and people both from the two culture. The livestock and the farmers live together as one country, as one people. In terms of the world, Somalia collapsed, coincided the collapse of Somalia with the collapse of the Soviet Union. There was two powers at that time. The Western power led by USA and the Eastern power led by the Soviet Union. Somalia was one of those member of one of those blocs. It was a member of the bloc led by the Soviet Union. So these blocs, there is conflict between two blocs. So now there is only one power now, superpower, which is the USA. So to come back again that arena, it needs to reconcile itself with the other people, with the other bloc members. So that is all. The other thing is that the focus of the new president is that to coexist with the neighbor countries peacefully, because in 1977 there was a war broke between Somalia and Ethiopia. Somalia and Ethiopia are neighbor.
Yeah.
Now they are friends. Now they are just come together and they are in one regional block, call it IGAD. All this, they together to work together. So Hassan wants to eliminate all this hostility among Somalia with its neighborhoods, and that's going on. That's what he means. I know he started already. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's a good foreign policy objective. We're looking forward to its implementation.
Yeah, of course.
For this.
Yeah.
And I hope that it will help in integrating all Africans as well.
Yes. Thank you, Your Excellency. Well, I would just like to know, I'm curious, what are the main cultural exports of Somalia? Somalia is a very rich historical and cultural society, So we have some interactions with some embassies when they do their national day, and you have exchange of culture. Is there any program? Do you have any program planned like that in Nigeria? Cultural exchange between Nigeria and Somalia?
In fact, in the last, but before, if you remember, I don't think that you were born at that time. It was in 70s. We sent Somali cultural floor to Eastern Nigeria.
Okay.
They come here. There was a cultural exchange program between Nigeria and Somalia.
Okay.
But since now it is not our priority that thing is. Our priority is security. Now the current government, the current system priority is peace and security. But by the way, I hope this will come back, because it was existing before. Whatever existing before, to bring back is not a big difficult or a big deal. It can be brought back again anytime that the country will be settled. But for now being, our focus is security and peace. What we want, or if Nigeria says, what you want to ask me, we want peace. We want security. Anything can Nigeria contribute to our peace, to our security. That's our just target, that for time being. But after that, culture will come, other things will come. But it was existing before the collapse of the country. There was Nigeria and Somalia.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good to know. Thank you, Excellency.
Yes.
Yeah, up to you.
Well, we want to go into other ways Somalia have been able to close certain development gaps. When I talk about development gaps, not just economic gaps or political gaps, I'm talking about gender gaps. Of course, the United Nations Women Organization is trying to change the narratives for all countries to be able to create a more inclusive policy for women to have full access to democratic governance. And from statistics, Somalia presented a first voluntary national review report on the recently concluded high-level political forum in the United States. And The report cited that in 2022, which is this current year, elections, 54 women were elected out of 275 House of People's seats, like the National Assembly. While this indicates progress in terms of the global gender gaps and parity index, what do you think Somalia can do to increase women's full access to leadership and participation of women in public life?
Okay, for your information,
Yes.
this is to get 50%.
Yeah.
I mean, 50. I mean, it is 20% of the member of the parliament. It's really a fast improvement. If you just investigate or just look for information before this, government. Example, we have a civilian government before the military. We don't have even one woman in the parliament. Now we have 50, and there's a quota, woman quota, in the parliament, mentioned in the constitution. 20% to be given to women. The problem is that I don't know. It's the African woman mentality. Women never elect women. That's the worry.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem they have. The women are the majority, but they don't elect themselves. So the worry is that now it was not, we cannot set election, it was selective, this parliament. That's why they were accommodated to come in about 50 women. But when it will come, one man, one vote, there's a worry that women will never, get a chance to come in, to get that, if it is election, fair and what we call election, because women never, the African women is never elect. Even the American women never elect women. So that's the phenomenon just existing. The other thing that our women, Somali women, since the civil war broke out, they were the breadwinners. So the breadwinner always the leader. Yeah, in the house, if you are the breadwinner, you are the leader, or you just influence the decision of the system. So since they were the breadwinners of the family, they have influence on the decisions made by the government or the officials of the government. So still they are breadwinners. If you go around the world, you see in many countries Somali just staying as refugee, but not they don't have refugee, what we call refugee status like that, because they are doing business, their own business. If you go wherever, if you go USA, you go Minnesota like that, you see Somali people together doing business, and they call it the Mogadishu Kidog. In Kenya, you see that in Nairobi, there is a section called Isli. Isli is called Mogadishu Kidogo. That means small Mogadishu. Mogadishu is the capital.
Okay.
If you go South Africa, you see somewhere called Mayfair. In Johannesburg, there's other small Mogadishu there. If you see Minnesota, go to Minnesota, some section in Minnesota, you see that everything you get in Somalia, you get there.
Wow.
Culturally, you get the food, everything there. So, and most of them are women. Or the leading, or we can say the leading role played by women in those business. If you go back to the country then, now they are investing in the country, business is booming, so mostly are women, the investors are women. So whenever you take over the economy, you will take over the power. That's normal. So in the future, if they will organize themselves, they can take the power. They can take over the power. But if they will not organize themselves, nobody will hand over them the power. I know that voluntarily.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Thank you. You can see that both Nigeria and Somalia are on the same page in terms of the gender equality movement.
Yeah, of course.
And I think the two countries are trying to build in the frameworks for more inclusions, and that is what we're always asking for, integrating the Nigerian women into the mainstream of politics. The questions are just a little bit few here, and I believe we can just give you two at a time. While you were talking, something just flashed on my mind in terms of cultural exchange. Somewhere in Abuja, we have what we call the Mogadishu barracks.
Mogadishu?
Barracks.
Okay.
One of the military.
Okay, yeah, I heard that one.
So I want to find out if Somalia has successfully planted its nomenclature, and that would be one of the success stories of your bilateral relations. So do we have cities or communities named after Nigeria and Somalia?
Yeah, of course, it happened. Behind this barrack you're talking about, just that made the people that soldiers deployed in Somalia. I think, because I was told that, that it was the soldiers who went to Somalia as peacekeepers came with this idea.
Wow.
That's the behind this idea. Yeah. That we have a small city that they call Afgoye. That's called the base of Nigeria, but not officially by the government. But the people, they said that the base of Nigeria, because they were working there. The soldiers sent to Somalia, working there. But it can come. But this idea came with these soldiers who went to Somalia as peacekeepers, and just I heard that I heard about it. Yeah, but it will come. I think it can come. It can come. Yeah, it can come.
It's okay.
Yeah.
What would you like to tell Nigerians about Somalia's contribution to the African Union?
No, I advocate for it. Hassan wants to eliminate all this hostility among Somalia with its neighborhoods, and that's going on. That's what he means. I know he started already. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's a good foreign policy objective. We're looking forward to its implementation.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And I hope that it will help in integrating all Africans as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Your Excellency.